There's just something about roasting marshmallows on my own personal little bonfire. Now that was pretty cool. Welcome back to another Jeff Reviews for you. And as you saw, we are looking at City Bonfires, a bonfire in a little can. Anyway, enough talk. Let's get right into this review. Here is my 2-pack of City Bonfires that I purchased for right around $38. As you can see, it is made in the United States, and of course, it's made with love right in Maryland. Let's do a quick unboxing. I wanted to show you a quick measurement. It's about 4 inches across and just about 2 1/4 inches tall. I have read through the directions and there are a few things I want to share with you before we get started. When I purchased this on Amazon, it actually said it could be used as an extra heat source, so therefore I thought it could be used inside, but the directions tell you can only use this outside. The box tells us that we have a 3 to 5 hour burn time, but the directions tell us that we have a 3 to 4 hour burn time, so we will see actually which one it is. They also say do not burn this if the wax has reached down to a 1/2 inch mark, which is right about in the middle of these words right here, is 1/2 inch from the bottom. So that's also something to be aware of. The product also boasts about it being lightweight, therefore portable if you're going camping. They say it weighs around a pound, and as you can see, we're actually less than that. We're 14.5 ounces. We didn't quite hit that 16-ounce mark. Very cool. As we prepare this for first use, let's pop off the lid, and you can see inside we have 4 briquettes surrounded by wax. The directions do tell us if your briquettes are completely covered with wax that you should scrape or score the briquette so the fibers are shown, therefore you can light them. They also say that it can take up to 30 seconds to light one of these briquettes, and you should use a lighter, not a match, therefore you can hold the flame on there for 30 seconds. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut my briquettes and take it outside to light. To make this as simple as possible, I'm just gonna score right down each of the briquettes just like this, releasing those fibers, making sure there's no wax covering it, so then it'll have a better chance of lighting. Here we go, outside. I did put this City Bonfires on top of a plate, which is on top of a cutting board. This plate is heat resistant, so I'm hoping it's okay. Let's light this up. All right, so it took me about 20 seconds to light the first briquette, so now I'm gonna light all the other ones. Once I have them all lit, the directions tell us to let this burn for 20 minutes. Although it is food grade where you're able to cook s'mores and such, you cannot do so within the first 20 minutes of lighting. We are 10 minutes into the initial 20-minute burn off, and I will say there is kind of an awful smell to this, and maybe that's why you're not supposed to cook, because it's burning off some sort of a chemical. So my recommendation would be not to be sitting around it, also keeping it in your view, but just don't sit right next to it when it's doing that first 20-minute burn off. I will say I have a fair amount of wind happening right now, and I'm really impressed that the City Bonfire is staying lit. I would have expected this to blow out, but it is doing a good job remaining lit. We've been rolling now for 30 minutes, and I can tell you the smell is still there, but it's getting a lot better. Definitely harder to detect. I appreciate that. I'm gonna let it go for another 30 minutes before I even consider cooking on it. To put this out or extinguish the flame, you're supposed to use the lid and just slide it across like this. Now you let that sit for about 10 minutes to let this cool down completely, so then you can move it. We've been burning now for 2 hours and 20 minutes, and to be honest with you, I'm kind of disappointed because I'm actually at the level where I have to turn this off, or at least put the lid on to shut it off, because I have less than a 1/2 inch left at the bottom. That means we didn't actually make it to the 3-hour minimum time they said we could have to burn. Also, check this out. About 5 minutes ago, I heard a snap noise. I didn't know what it was at first, but look at my plate. It actually cracked it. I guess this was not heat safe like I thought it was. All right, so I'm gonna slide this lid right on top to put out the fire. I'm gonna get the other one, and we're gonna get a better base and try something else. So tell me, what do you think of the City Bonfire? Are you interested in one? Not so much? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. And when you're in the comment section, how do you roast your marshmallows? Do you let them start on fire, or do you lightly brown them? I'm wondering if some of the trouble we had from the first go around was because it was a pretty windy day, and so maybe it burned faster because of the wind. So we're still outside. I just happened to be in a covered porch area where one of the walls here is blocking some of the wind. So let's light this up. We are finally lit, and this one I noticed took a little longer to light than the other one, but it is lit, and you can see there's the flame there. All right, so you can see that I actually replaced the plate. Not gonna break another one of those with a piece of tile. my thought is I'd rather break an 88-cent piece of tile instead of a $5 plate, so let's see how this one does. We'll check back in 30 minutes after the burn off. It is pretty cool to watch it burn. All right, it's been 30 minutes. Let's do something different. We're gonna shut it off again and check back in on it after it cools. I've let this sit and cool for a few hours, and look at that. It looks like a gross gray putty in there, but it does cool down like a candle. The wind has died down, so we're back outside, and I will say lighting this after it's completely cooled is a lot more difficult than it was lighting it originally. I've scraped, I've held the lighter on here for 60 seconds, and we're just not lighting very easily. There we go, I was persistent, and they are all lit up again. In the directions, they tell us that this is a smokeless bonfire, and yeah, I agree there's no smoke, but I don't know if you can see here at the top of the flames coming off, that is soot, and that soot has come off the entire time I've had these burning. It just, well, doesn't stop. Let me show you what I mean by soot, okay? So I have a white marshmallow. I'm not really gonna get the fire on there. I'm not gonna leave it on very long, but look at how dark. Let me focus in on that. Can you see that black part on the marshmallow? That's the soot that I'm talking about that comes off of this bonfire. So yes, I'd agree with smokeless, but no, I would not agree with sootless. In this video, we were looking at CityBonfires, the bonfire in a can. So what did I think of it? First things first, let's talk about the price. I purchased 2 for $38. You actually can't buy a 1-pack. They start as a minimum of 2. I thought the price was a little expensive, but if you like these, and as you buy more, the price gets a little less expensive. I think I saw like 10 for like $165 or something like that. Anyway, I wish it was a little cheaper, but that's their price. What did I think about the product itself? First, I purchased this out of the sole coolness factor. I saw it on Instagram. I thought, man, I have to have that. And it is really cool. I like the idea of having a little tiny bonfire anytime I want. I also thought it was neat that I could use it as like an extra heat source, but I later learned after reading the directions that you cannot use it inside, so that scratched that idea. I was a little disappointed that I could not get the full 3 hours that they promised. Both times were right around 2.5 hours, and mine went out, or it was to the point where I had to turn it out, so that was really disappointing. I also wanted to be able to roast marshmallows. That to me is cool. I like roasting marshmallows, but that was bad too. Soot got all over those marshmallows, and yes, I did try one, and it was gross. Definitely not something that I would recommend or even try again. I do want to caution you, this can gets really, really hot. I think one time I scanned it at 280 degrees Fahrenheit, so make sure you don't touch it. If you have to absolutely move it, use temperature-safe gloves. I will, however, use it just as a regular little tiny bonfire out on a table. As long as you have something that is heat resistant under it, that was pretty cool. Anyway, that's my full review of the CityBonfires. If this is something that interests you, I will leave a link down in the description. This is Jeff with Jeff Reviews for You. As always, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a great day. You knew I couldn't end this video without showing you what it looked like at night. It is a pretty cool little bonfire. I really do appreciate that you stayed around for my entire review of the CityBonfires. And this actually reminded me of another product that I purchased because of Instagram, and that was my golden egg spinner, where you can spin an egg and it comes out golden. Anyway, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna link that review right up here, and I would love it if you would click on this link. And when you do, by the magic of the internet, I'm gonna join you right here. So go ahead, click it, it's safe, I promise.